We're glad you could
Sounds
join
good.
us.
Are there still 6 teams?
Andrew, I don't know if you've already spoken with the contestants, but this is Andrew. Well, I'm Giovanna Gennard. This is Raul Briseño, the co-chair of Reyes, and Andrew Dotson is our host for Trivia Night, and he's also the YouTube presenter. So Andrew, if you want to, I guess, introduce yourselves to the participants, and then they can give you the name that they want to use and maybe where they're from.
Yeah, so I'm Andrew Dotson. I guess I should start sharing my screen. I'll go ahead and do that real quick before I do anything else. It's a busy screen. I'll have the score from the last trivia night up. Once everyone tells me their names and stuff, we can go ahead and change that. So I'm a grad student at New Mexico State University. I make physics YouTube videos. Today we're going to be doing a trivia night that's based off of the lectures and the sessions that you all have hopefully attended throughout the REYES program. And so this is going to be time-based, like time. You want to answer as quickly as possible, assuming that there are 6 groups. The group that answers the first correctly, that answers the question correctly the first, will get 6 points. The second group will get 5 points, and so on. If you don't answer correctly, you don't get any points, but that's pretty much the extent of the rules. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves for me real quick, and then we can get started on the team names. If you don't mind. I randomly select. So Connor, who are you?
Well, I am Connor, but I was a former student of I guess Python for physics last year, and this year I helped Raul TA, and just joining from Norfolk today to yeah, have fun.
Awesome. So are you in an undergrad?
No, actually I'm still in high school, so. Yeah.
Oh wow, getting started early. That's awesome. Much earlier than I did. Okay, Effie.
Yeah, hello. I am an undergrad student from India. I study MSc Physics. I'm a sophomore right now. We have this program where we have an integrated BSc and MSc, so I'm doing that in college. And yeah, my teammate is my batchmate.
Awesome. And your teammate is. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Saket. I'm FE's teammate. So I'm doing the same program FES, like it's an integrated BSc plus MSc. So I'm an undergrad in physics right now, and I'm a sophomore.
Good deal. All right, so I'm basically going to have you introduce yourselves again once this really kicks off, just so people know who's participating. And then I'll also ask you all what your favorite talk or session has been so far throughout the program. I say so far, this is the last one. So just keep that in mind, try to prepare an answer for yourself. So who's next? I don't know who's part of tech support and who's part of this. I'll just let whoever wants to speak up next. Who's team 3? Sebastian, are you a participant?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, cool.
Very good. Yeah, I'm just here because I was told that you need people. And I'm a grad student from Indiana University, Bloomington.
Oh, okay. What are you doing?
I'm working on free body scattering with Raul and Andrew Jakura. And here at Bloomington, I work with Adam Szczepanek, also on free body scattering. Yeah, and since I'm talking, let me ask a question. So I just joined. I have no idea what am I supposed to do.
Yeah, so So right now, I'm just getting a feel for everyone who's participating, and then I'll go over the rules and the layout of the event in just a few minutes, just to make sure. I just want to get a head count to make sure that we have everyone first. I'm going to start sharing my screen again. I don't know why it stopped.
Sorry, I kicked you out. I apologize.
Oh, no problem. Do you need the screen?
Nope. You're in charge.
Sounds good. Who else is there? Is Kevin a participant?
No, Kevin is not.
I heard
Okay.
my name. No, I'm just here for support.
Okay, sounds good. And what about Larissa is? Okay. Let's get her.
We're just getting Larissa's microphone up and running.
Okay. Who else? Is Miguel a participant?
No.
It wasn't planning on it. No reason why he couldn't though.
Okay. I'm just going down who's in the call because I don't know who's
Yep, so
participating in trivia.
ODODL, Scott, Kevin, and Miguel are all support staff for the distance learning program that powers this broadcast.
Okay,
So I
sounds
think the
good.
next one would be Pablo. Pablo is a participant.
Yeah, I am a participant.
All right, sounds good. Pablo, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Mexico, Tampico, Tamaulipas. I'm studying in undergraduate. I'm an undergraduate student in the Maderos Institute of Technology. I'm studying electronic engineering, and I'm so excited to be here. And my favorite lesson is Python for physics.
Awesome. I'm gonna ask you to repeat that again once we officially get started. But I think am I missing someone else? I feel like there was supposed to be. Is there 6 groups or no? It's not a problem if there's not. I just want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out. Someone spoke and cut out. Okay. Well, I'll leave it blank for now. Once I start to read the rules, if no one else pops in to fill the 6th spot, and, we'll just carry on forward. It'll be less people to count anyways.
Andrew, I think there might be somebody else who's struggling in last minute, but I think for now you've got everybody.
Okay.
Unless Effie's team wants to break up into 2 teams and challenge each other.
I suppose
I
we
think you
prefer
get
staying
everybody.
on the same team.
All right, sounds good. So if someone pops in the next couple minutes, and they can be in team 6. If not, we'll do 5 teams just because it lets me add 5 points easily. But there's not a fast way to add 6 points. So it might work out better anyways. Okay.
And in 2 minutes, Andrew, I'll be doing a welcome.
Okay.
Okay,
That's good.
thanks.
And as soon as she gives the welcome, I'll explain the rules of the game and everything. To give you guys a brief explanation, I'm going to ask you questions from lectures and sessions you hopefully have attended. When you think you know the answer to the question, you'll submit it via the chat system. You won't say anything out loud. So while I'm reading questions and you're answering, your mic should hopefully be muted. That way no one's hearing you discuss what you think the answers are. And then you'll submit your answers in the chat, which I'll read. The person who submits the correct answer first will get, if there's 6 people, you'll get 6 points. If you answer correctly and you're the second person, then you'll get 5 points, and so on. If you don't get the answer correct, you don't get any points. But that's the gist of it. I'll also be offering some bonus points for certain problems throughout, but not every problem. Again, I'll reiterate that, go in more depth once we kick things off. And just to make sure everyone can hear this, right?
Yep.
Okay. Works for one person, it probably works for everybody.
Well, good evening, Reyes participants. I'm Giovanna Gennard, the Assistant Vice President for Strategic Communication and Marketing, and also the co-chair of the Reyes team. And I would like to welcome you to our final event for our summer series. My Old Dominion University colleagues and I have enjoyed engaging virtually with all of you during the past 8 weeks as you learned about artificial intelligence, Python coding, aerospace engineering, entomology, computer science, mathematics, and even some vinyasa yoga at the Barry Art Museum. And tonight, you get to test all the knowledge you've acquired with some fun trivia, along with some of your fellow Reyes participants who are joining us live. For our concluding event, I'm also joined by Reyes co-chair and physics professor Raul Briseño. Raul, you want to say hello?
Hey, everybody.
And our trivia night host, Andrew Dotson. Andrew
Hello.
Dotson is an Old Dominion University physics alumnus. Currently, he is pursuing a graduate degree at New Mexico State University, where he's studying theoretical nuclear physics. He's also a famous YouTube presenter, but don't tell him I said so, on his Andrew Dotson channel, where he communicates physics concepts and experiences to an audience of 150,000 followers. And many of you I know are watching tonight. His goal is to be a researcher in theoretical nuclear physics, and specifically in perturbative quantum chromodynamics, or as many of you know, it's PQCD. Please join me in welcoming Andrew Dotson, who will introduce our contestants and also walk us through tonight's program. Take it away, Andrew.
Thanks so much for the nice introduction. I promise that for the trivia night, there won't be very many perturbative QCD questions, but there will be quite a few. Okay, I hope you guys have your blackboards out and your pens and paper. I'm just kidding. No math questions today. Today, we're going to be doing the second iteration of Trivia Night. Throughout this Reyes program, you all have attended a plethora of different lectures and sessions where you learned about different topics in STEM. And today we're going to put that to the test with some trivia. Now, the rules of the game are pretty simple. Let me go ahead and get rid of one of these teams since one didn't show up. This is going to be a competition of answering correctly and answering quickly. So throughout this trivia night, I'm going to be asking you questions based on lectures that you hopefully have attended. And if you answer the question correctly, you get points. But not only that, if you answer correctly quickly, you get more points. There are 5 teams, so the first team to get the answer correct will get 5 points. The second team will get 4 points, and so on. If you do not answer the question correctly, you do not get any points. The additional rules to the game are that you can only begin to answer the question once I've finished reading it. When I'm reading the question and you guys are answering, you should have your mics hopefully muted. That way people aren't hearing maybe what the right answer is. And you'll be submitting your answers to the chat. So if everyone doesn't mind, would you mind actually practicing typing in the chat real quick so that I can see that you are comfortable with that? Because that's how you'll be submitting your answers. Just want to see at least one example. Where is the chat on my thing? Oh, there we go. I had it closed. I hear someone says they can't hear anything. Okay, the audio was fixed. Testing, answer. Okay, perfect. So when you do submit your answers, you're going to want to submit them privately, not to everyone. So you'll send them to me, which is Andrew Dotson. That way other people aren't seeing your response. So instead of selecting everyone, you'll just select my name. Okay. So let's go ahead and introduce. Someone says, please, only PQD questions. I wish I could. So why don't we get everyone introduced here? So we'll kick things off with Connor. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a high school student in Norfolk, and I was just recently TAing for the Python for Physics class, and I think that other than the class I was TAing for, my favorite REYES program was the guesstimation lecture.
Ooh. Always a crowd favorite with Weinstein, right?
Yeah,
Gotcha. Where in Norfolk did you attend? I was in Virginia Beach, so I went to Cox.
Oh, I'm going to Maury.
I had a couple of lacrosse games there. That's interesting. All right, Connor. Well, I wish you luck. Next, we have Effie and Saketh. Mind introducing yourselves?
Yes, so the both of us are undergrad students from India. We're both doing majors in physics and we're sophomores at college.
Awesome. Any hopes and dreams with physics? Do you know any idea what you'd like to do with it?
Nothing in specific right now.
Okay, that's the answer I had to when I was still there. What was your favorite session so far with the program?
The same as Connor, I like the guesstimation session a lot, particularly the questions that people asked him in the end, where he tried guesstimating how many volcanoes there were around the ocean and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what always impressed me too with his talk. Is it's like if you know ahead of time what the answer is, maybe you could have like trial and errored your way to it. But he lets you put him on the spot and guesstimate other things. His talks are always so great. What about you, Saketh?
I like the CERN, the past and the future talk about because like basically I was always fascinated by CERN and reality. So yeah, it was a great
Sorry to
talk.
cut you off. Your audio is a little bit a little quiet. I couldn't quite understand.
Can you hear me louder now?
That's a lot better.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I like the CERN, the past and the future talk a lot because I've always been fascinated by CERN and reality. So I like that talk a lot.
Cool. Okay, Sebastian.
Hello, I'm Sebastian. I'm a graduate student from Indiana University, Bloomington. I'm here by accident. Yeah.
Stumbled into the right WebEx link.
Indeed.
Did you have any favorite lectures throughout this program?
Being completely honest, I haven't seen a single lecture.
Okay, so you're our control group. We'll see how well the average person can do if you've attended none. And then next year we'll know whether we need to make these questions harder. All right, sounds good. Larissa? I think Larissa was having trouble with audio earlier. Hopefully that was fixed. If not, you can type in your responses and I can read it out loud. We'll come back to her. Pablo, how about you?
Hi, I am an undergraduate student from Mexico in the Maderos Institute of Technology. I'm here by accident too. I don't know how I get here, but I am here. My favorite sessions were the Python for Physics. I enjoyed it so much. And the lectures, well, I am kind of worried about it because I haven't seen the lectures too, and I have no place to find it. So yes, maybe we are going kind of troubling, but not much problem.
Okay. Well, that's the good thing about how this is formatted is you can still, if you can find your way to the right answer, you'll still get points regardless of if you answer quickly or not. So the Python for Physics, was there a particular subject or topic that you covered that you thought was the most enjoyable?
Well, I think it's going to be the whole topic of particle physics.
Oh yeah.
I like the particle physics. Some years ago, I think I could be a particle physics work, but I declined to be an electronic engineer. I like it so much. I don't know the way the electron moves and the particles move. I think is kind of the same. I know it's not like that, but it works as well. But when I heard about the Python for Physics and the topics of particles and everything and the nuclear physics, I see, man, I got to be in here.
So, awesome. So it sounds like you took away some useful skills.
Yes. It's gonna be a good travel I have here.
Awesome. So is Larissa able to communicate with us now? Or is she having some technical difficulties? Oh, I see a message from her. It says, I don't hear anything. Should I go out and come back? Yes.
Scott, can we maybe? Sorry, Andrew. Scott,
Yeah.
is there a way to maybe send her a phone number that she can log in?
Sure, yeah, I'm just trying to reach her via the text. Larissa, if you can see the chat.
Sounds good.
So what are we?
So I'm
Are
just
we
gonna try to get, yeah, I'm just trying to get Larissa the call-in number.
Awesome. So we don't want to start without her, so we'll just give it a couple more minutes. I'll try to explain a little bit more. So when you all submit your answers, you're like whenever you're thinking about what it is, if you're working with other people, just mute the mic and submit your answer to me by selecting the drop-down menu. Where right now it should say everyone. You'll just select my name and type in the response. When I get a response from you, I will address you by name, your team name, and say this is either correct or incorrect. Don't ask me why correct is red and wrong is green. It confuses me. But I won't say specifically what you said. Like I won't say your answer and then say the answer was right or wrong. I will just say your name and then play the right or wrong sound. So that's how you'll know. Once I have responses from everybody, then we'll go over what the correct or accepted answers are. Now there will be answers that might technically be correct, but we're looking for ones that were emphasized within the sessions themselves. So if it's not something that they said in the lecture, then it might not be accepted. But in the end, it'll be determined by myself. And then also throughout this trivia night, if there are questions that are a bit technical, a bit heavy on the jargon, I might offer some bonus points to explain an additional concept about the question. And we'll have Giovanna select a random number to find out who out of the 5 of you will get the opportunity to answer the bonus questions. Any questions about this so far?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I suppose we'll be divided into groups.
You are your own group, actually.
Oh, okay.
Aside from Effie and Saketh, all of you are on your own. If you have like family or someone who is around you, you're more than welcome to brainstorm with them. But we made sure not to volunteer you can work in groups to make sure that people practice social distancing. You're not having next door neighbors coming over for that.
Yeah, Sebastian, if you need a teammate, now's the time.
I mean, I need someone to blame when I fail.
I thought I was that person.
Okay.
And Andrew, how can participants at home engage also in trivia and have some fun?
So within the WebEx server, I believe that there's an option for you all to submit comments and questions in the chat. So if you think there may be additional answers, or if you have some additional insight on the questions that are asked, feel free to submit them throughout this whole trivia night. And then Raul and Giovanna, feel free to interrupt me to say what other people are commenting on.
In fact, we have a couple of comments. Maybe I'll read one of them while we wait for Larissa. One is from your friend Brian Go from Medan, Indonesia, telling everybody, giving a warning to everybody, be careful on the questions. Sometimes it gets really tricky. Thanks, Brian.
Brian, who attended the last trivia night, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, they can be pretty tricky. I think we have a diverse set of questions here, which will be good. We don't have as many questions as last time, but I think they're good questions.
Good. Scott, any updates on Larissa?
So it looks like she logged out, logged back in, but I'm still trying to establish an audio connection.
Is she logged in with a computer?
That's what it looks like, yes.
Okay. Well, maybe let's give her a couple more minutes, and then if not, we can go ahead and start.
So everyone who's attending who is still in school, which I guess is kind of everybody, when did your classes start back up? Probably pretty soon, right?
I'd be interested to hear Effie's and Saketh's story. What are the universities doing in India right now?
So for us, I mean, university starts on Monday and everything's online this time around. And they plan to, it's completely online. We won't be going back for this semester.
Gotcha. How do you guys like classes online?
I mean, we prefer being there in person, but I mean, there's not much of a choice here.
Yeah.
We'd rather
Yeah.
have classes than have nothing at all.
Absolutely. Did you have practice with online classes last semester, or were you still in person last semester?
Yeah, we had.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
latter half of the semester was entirely online. So we were sent back home in the middle of the semester because of the lockdowns and all that. And then, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like everywhere is more or less doing the same things. Anyone else have something different?
What about you, Pablo?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah, thanks. Actually, it's online too. In Mexico, things are bad, are so bad. People in the streets getting out without protection for the COVID. So in my school, we attempt to do the classes online. Don't know. It's an uncertain for future.
Where are you in school again?
Excuse me.
What university are you in?
My university is the Maderos Institute of Technology.
Got it.
We call them the MIT of Mexico.
Nice. You sure you're not interested in physics?
Yes. Actually, I want to talk with you about getting the JLab or something related with that. But one more about information and things of the ODU entering.
Yeah, we have many students from Mexico that have come to do summer internships at Jefferson Lab. Mostly students. So we have two programs: one for theoretical nuclear physics and one for accelerator science. And so the
accelerator science is available now.
Is it what?
Is available now for Mexican students who want to participate in?
Both of these are frozen right now because there's no way for people to get visas and travel over here for that kind of internship. And the lab right now is also shut. So the lab is, we are on the second highest medical security right now. So some people can go in, but most of us can't. So right now it's not, right now we're not hosting visitors. Only the people that are running the accelerator are present, essentially, and running, key parts of the lab.
Yeah, I know that certain aspects of the accelerator division is still going. Like, I think they do still have an RU program that's active. Actually, I think it's just wrapping up for this summer. But I think the only people who are able to participate are those who were interested in simulations. And I think some students are doing internships that are almost exclusively on how to write proposals, which is kind of interesting. I was speaking with my former research advisor when I was in the accelerated division for an internship. That's what he was talking about. So they meet via Zoom or their whatever they prefer, and they talk about their simulations and things. So if things don't get better, and this ends up happening next summer as well, I think certain internships are still possible, but it is very limited.
Yeah, Pablo, go ahead and write me an email, and we can talk about this. I mean, I think that there might be some possibility of some unpaid internships remotely, right? I think the problem is having them paid if you're not in person. So we can talk about that. But I see that you're happy with that. Yeah, just send me an email. And same goes for any of you. If you guys have any questions about opportunities in either grad school or internship possibilities or any other research possibilities, just feel free to write to me or anybody else on the team. That being said, I think, Andrew, perhaps we can check in on Larissa. If not, we can maybe go ahead and start.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm still working with Larissa. We need some more time.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get started.
You want to go ahead and get started? Okay, I think the boss says to go ahead and get started, and if Larissa can make it, maybe we can scale her points for appropriately.
Sure. All right, am I free to share the screen again? It looks like yours took over.
I think you should be able to. None of us are sharing right now.
Cool, so mine should be.
Yeah.
Should be back now. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Does anyone need me to go over the rules one more time, just for clarity? Any questions? Okay, so just I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to ask you questions about the lectures you've attended. This is your scores. The points that you earn will be determined on you getting the answer correct and answering quickly. We have 5 teams. The team that answers the first correctly will get 5 points. Second will get 4, and so on. If you don't answer correctly, you don't get any points. All of your responses should be submitted via the chat, directed at me, not to everybody, so that people can't see your responses. Once I get a response from you, I will call out your name and give you either a correct sound or a wrong sound, and then we'll move forward. Once everyone has submitted an answer, I'll go over the accepted answer for the question. Sound good? Let's go ahead and kick things off with Reyes Trivia Night number 2. So the first question comes from the lecture on racial discrimination in imaging technologies. Question 1. Amazon's face recognition software got what wrong about 28 members of U.S. Congress? You're free to submit your answers now. Okay, so Sebastian, your answer. Sorry. Pablo, I'm not sure what yours means. If you can, if you can reiterate or expand on what you're trying to say there, I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, sorry. I think I make a mistake. I think it's the Google's face recognition. Sorry.
It's okay. So we got an answer from Sebastian, got an answer from Connor. Effie. We're kicking things off hard problems. So moving forward from this one, so for this problem, I'm letting you submit answers until everyone's submitted. From here on out, though, you get 1 try. Okay? Effie, your second answer. Let me make sure that I've counted everybody. So we've got an answer from Pablo, Sebastian, Connor, Effie. Who am I missing? Oh, I guess we would only be missing Larissa. So someone speak out in case you haven't answered yet, just to make sure I'm not skipping anybody. I'm going to limit you guys to 1 response per question. That way it's easier to count on my end next time. So everyone submitted their answers? Going once? Going twice? All right. So the only correct answer was from Effie, so you get 5 points. We're going to stick with 5 regardless of if Larissa is able to join us, just for, it'll be easier. And the correct answer was, so Amazon's recognition face or software got what wrong about 28 members of the U.S. Congress? It misidentified them as known criminals. That's pretty funny. Well, maybe not to them. I think that's pretty funny. Question 2, also from racial discrimination and imaging technologies. Which U.S. company provided logistical support for Nazi programs of eugenics and genocide? You're free to submit your answers now.
IBM.
Pablo, so I mentioned at the beginning that you should submit your answers via the chat and not say them out loud so that other people can't hear you.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's no problem. Mistakes happen. So this one, I assume everyone heard that, so we'll just go ahead and skip this question. Okay, sound good? All right, so let's move on to the next question. So please remember to submit your responses via the chat and mute your mic if you're discussing them with anyone else. Okay, next question. So we have another one from racial discrimination. Oh no, sorry, this was the answer. So the answer was IBM. So IBM provided logistical support for Nazi programs. And on top of that, they were bad at creating random number generators back in the day. CERN. So this one is from CERN, the past and the future of the world's best microscope. What is the circumference of the Large Hadron Collider ring at CERN? Is it A, 2.7 kilometers, B, 26.7 kilometers, or C, 267 kilometers? You're all free to submit your answers. Right, so we've got one from Pablo. Pablo, your answer is correct. Effie, your answer is correct. Sebastian, your answer is correct. So Kath, if you can communicate with Effie on your answers, just so I'm reading 5. Since you both are in the same group, I don't need one for both of you, just a consensus.
We were doing that till now. I didn't know if he had sent it or the piece.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just try to keep up that communication with each other. All right, so it seems like everybody answered correctly. The first correct answer was from Pablo. So Pablo, you get 5 points. The next correct answer was from Effie. So that is 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got Sebastian. So that's 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And finally, Connor, who gets 2 points. 1, 2. Perfect. So the correct answer was, what is the circumference of the LHC? 26.7 kilometers. It's a big boy. How many Raul, do you know how many countries the LHC spans or goes through? Is it just 2 or 3?
2. Switzerland and France.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Next question.
In fact, a lot of people. So the speaker. So the CERN is in Switzerland, but a lot of people work at CERN. They live in France. Like Max Hansen, the speaker of that talk. Yeah, it's cheaper.
I've heard that before as well. Okay, the next question is from the same talk. By the way, when you have multiple choices, please wait until I've read the choices as well. I didn't say that before. So the next question, which of the following was not discovered at CERN? A, the top quark, B, the W boson, C, the Z boson, or D, the Higgs boson? You're free to submit your answers. Okay, let's see. So Okay, so we have an answer from Effie. Sorry. One from Connor. One from Saketh. Again, Saketh, if you don't mind, communicate with Effie. That we're not reading two answers from the same group. Connor said A, so am I missing anybody? Still missing one from Sebastian. Sebastian, your answer is correct. Pablo, your answer is correct. Again, please only submit one answer as well. It's just getting difficult to count because it's lumping all the responses from the previous questions together. So it's the last one was also multiple choice. Okay, so the first one from Effie, that was the first response. You spoke for your group, and that was incorrect. Connor would be the first correct answer, so you get 5 points. The next one was from Pablo, who also got a correct answer, so that will be 4 points to Pablo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no, that's not correct. I read that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. I read the one above yours. My apologies. And then we have one from Sebastian, who is correct. So you get the 4 points because you were the next correct one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we finally have a submission from Larissa. So that will be 3 points for Larissa coming in. There we go. So the correct answer, which of the following was not discovered at CERN? The top quark, the W boson, and the Z boson or the Higgs boson. The correct answer is answer A, the top quark. If I'm not mistaken, the top quark was actually discovered at Fermilab near Chicago. The rest were actually found in the LHC. So I think it's time for a bonus point. So whoever gets this question right will get one additional bonus point. So Giovanna, if you don't mind generating a random number 1 through 5 for me, please.
And that number is 2.
The number is 2. All right, so Effie and Saketh's group, you get an opportunity to answer the bonus question, which is, what is the Higgs boson famous for? And you can say this out loud. You're the only one that gets the chance.
I mean, so specifically, the Higgs boson was famous. Like, it came in the news because it was discovered at the LHC, but primarily it gives a lot of particles mass, I'd say.
Correct. Here we go. So that will be 1 bonus point for your team. I like how you said some of the particles. It doesn't give all of the particles mass. That's correct. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Symmetries and how to use them in physics. What is the name of the German mathematician that related symmetries and conservation laws in physics? You may submit your answers now. You guys knew that one very quickly, okay? So Effie, you were the first one to submit an answer, and that answer is correct. Pablo, you were second. Saketh. Sebastian, correct. So the only one we're missing is, who are we missing? We're missing Larissa. So Larissa is part of the chat now, right? She's part of the call.
Yes, Larissa is going to be using the chat.
Okay. Give her a little bit more time to submit an answer. And I'll go ahead and put the points on as they've come in. So Effie, your group was first, so you get 5 points. That is an additional 5 points. So you guys are well in the lead. Next was Pablo, so you get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Saketh, you spoke with Effie. Sebastian was then next, so you get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And Connor next gave a correct answer. 1, 2. So we're going to give another 10 seconds to get a response from Larissa, and then we'll have to move on because this is a time-sensitive competition. Sebastian says that he's lagging. I'm not sure what to do with that.
This is a usual complaint in online games.
Oh, no, I know what lag means. I mean, I don't know how to remedy that. Maybe you have to hop to a world that has better ping. Okay, so I don't see a response from Ursa, so we'll go ahead and move forward. So what is the name of the German mathematician that related symmetries in conservation laws in physics? It, of course, is the physicist whose name I always mispronounce. Emmy, neither, whatever your favorite is. How do you pronounce that? Can someone settle that for me?
Netter.
Netter?
Netter.
Netter. Okay. I'm going to try my best from now on. I've said that name a million times incorrectly. Okay, yeah, the physicist who said that with every symmetry, something is conserved. Every special kind of symmetry, anyways. The next question, solving aquatic crimes using forensic entomology. How can it be determined if a body that is submerged in the lake died by drowning or was killed prior to entering the lake? Very different kind of questions now. Okay, so we have a response from Effie. You have a response. Well, Pablo, that's just a letter. This isn't multiple choice. I have one from Connor. Or Connor. How can you tell if someone was drowned or just thrown in a lake? We got one from Sebastian. Now I'm trying to remember what the answer is. Okay, I remember now. Okay. And then we're still waiting on. Let's see, are we waiting on anybody else? We've got one from Effie, Connor, Sebastian, Pablo. Okay, no, none from Larissa. Give Larissa 10 more seconds and then we'll have to move on. All right, so how can it be determined? Oh. Larissa, you're asking a question that's not a. Yeah, that's not a response that we're looking for here. So, how can we determine if a body that is submerged in a lake died from drowning or was killed prior? During drowning, water is inhaled and algae will be located deep in the lungs. So that's what we're looking for here, algae in the lungs. So the only person who got that question correct was who was it? Was Effie's group. So Effie gets 5 points. Other people said that water fills the lungs, but we're looking for the inhalation of the water leads to algae. So they're looking for algae. They'll find water in anyone's lungs. Okay, so next question. During which stage of decomposition do flies colonize a drowned body? Free to answer now. All right, so we have an answer from. Yes, we have one from Larissa. We have one from Sebastian. Oh. Yes, Larissa, please be sure to submit your answers to me personally, not to everyone. Everyone could see your answer there. So make sure that when you submit your answers, you're submitting it to me by selecting Andrew Dotson instead of everyone, which is the default. Because that one was kind of given away, I think it's only fair that we skip that one as well. Right? So let's go ahead and skip that one for this one. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So the answer was during the bloat stage when the body floats. Next question. What role do dogs play in aquatic forensic entomology? You're free to submit your answers. Okay, we have one from Effie. Effie, I'm going to accept that one. So you get the 5 points. Pablo, you have a different answer that I will also accept. So that'll be 4 points for answering second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sebastian, though your answer is absolutely correct, unfortunately it was not expressed in the talk itself, so I can't accept that one. We'll go over that answer in just a little bit. Sorry that I have to be the one to make the tough choices here. So who are we waiting for now? We need a response from Larissa and Connor, I believe. What role do dogs play in aquatic forensic entomology? We have one from Larissa. Larissa, that is a correct answer. You get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Connor is a no submission. So let's move on. What role do they play in forensic entomology? The accepted answer is they can locate the cadaver that is underwater by the odor that rises to the surface. So answers that I would accept are locating a cadaver, and the way that they do this is by actually recognizing the odor, so smelling it. So both of those would be acceptable to me. Sebastian also submitted the answer that dogs make everyone happier in this depressing world of crimes, which is absolutely correct, however, not discussed in the talk, so I can't accept that one, Sebastian. I'm so sorry. Okay, moving on. Reading COVID research papers with AI. In natural language processing, the set of vectors that correspond to the vocabulary are referred to as blank. Submit your answers. So this is definitely something that's out of my realm of knowledge, so I'll have to only accept exactly what was provided as an answer for myself. So we have an answer from Effie, Pablo, Sebastian, Connor. You're missing anyone? Just Larissa? This is one that I absolutely would not have gotten. Larissa, that is a correct answer. Okay, so let's see. Let's in natural language processing, the set of vectors that correspond to the vocabulary are referred to as embeddings. So the first correct answer that I got was from Pablo, so you get the 5 points. And then the only other correct answer I got was from Larissa, who gets 4 points. The other answers that I got were a basis, a dictionary, all good answers, ones that I might have tried to guess as well, but I would have had no idea, to be honest. Next question. About how many papers on COVID-19 are published daily? 9, 10 to 99, 100 to 999, or 1,000 to 10,000? Please submit your answers. Should mention BuzzFeed doesn't count. New York Post doesn't count. Everything else you've seen on Facebook doesn't count. Everything remaining probably counts. Okay. So we have an answer from Sebastian. And sorry, Sebastian. Connor, that is correct. Effie, that is correct. Pablo, correct. Larissa, correct. The correct answer was C. Hundreds of papers are published a day. Okay, so the first one that was submitted correctly was from Connor. So Connor, you get 5 points. Then we have one from Effie. So that's 4 points. 4. Pablo gets 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And Larissa gets 2 points. 1, 2. It's Sebastian. Sebastian, you already submitted one. Oh, you said published or submitted? Don't know the answer to that. It says published, so I imagine published, not just on archive. Actually, I don't even know. Do COVID papers go on archive? Well, we never know.
I think I know the answer to this. So this is actually not published. It's submitted to archive-like websites. So the code that the speaker wrote is one that analyzes all the different archive-like websites and then makes a coherent repository. So these are actually not published.
Ah, I see. Don't shoot the messenger.
I know. But maybe that will make Sebastian feel better about whatever his answer was.
Well, you tell me, Sebastian, does that make you feel better?
Well, only points make me feel better.
Only points. You got to work for them. Okay, on to the next question. From plastics and microplastics, an emergent issue. On a global scale, what percentage of all plastics ever have been recycled? Less than 2%, about 10%, 25%, or 50%? Submit your answers. Effie coming out very quick with the correct answer. Connor not far behind, but unfortunately an incorrect one. Sebastian, it's absolutely correct. Larissa, correct. Perfect. Okay, so the correct answer, what percentage of all plastics have been recycled? About 10%. B. So the first correct answer that I got was from Effie. Another 5 points. Quick with the fingers. And then we got one from Sebastian that was correct. So you get 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Larissa also correct with 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Pablo, 1, 2. Pablo also says, sorry, it's bathroom time. Okay, well, while Pablo goes to the bathroom, does anyone have any questions or comments about this so far? We've got just a few more questions, by the way. This is actually a very, very close game this time. I think it was more spread out during the first trivia night, but you guys are coming in close. Well, first place is pretty up there, but 14 points, 14 points, 15 points, that could be anyone's third place. Sebastian says, what are proton questions? Okay, I'll ask you a question. For 1,000,000 bonus points, where does the spin of the proton come from, and how is it divided amongst everything?
For 1,000,000 points.
That's a good question.
And Tonto, I also don't know the answer. I don't think anyone really knows that answer. Maybe Raul does, and he's keeping it a secret from everyone.
Maybe.
50% of spin comes from gluons.
I think that's correct. I think it's what, like a quarter comes from the valence quarks. That's about all I know.
I think Pablo's with us.
Back?
Well, I think he never left.
Yeah, I'm here.
Larissa is saying that she can't hear us anymore.
Oh no.
But she said that she can look at the questions and write the answer. That's. I guess that could work. I'll just have to read quickly because you're not supposed to. Let me write actually to Larissa. I'm gonna tell her to give it about 2 seconds. That way I can actually read the question for everyone. Let me say 3 seconds. Right, so let's go ahead and move on to the final 4 questions.
Sergio dice.
Someone. What is that? Oh, okay. Next question. What are the small plastic pellets used in the production of plastic products called? We submit your answer. Effie, that is not the answer we're looking for. Connor, that's not the answer we're looking for. Sebastian, I'm pretty sure that that's not the answer either. But as always, we'll go over your answer and kind of leave it to the audience to decide, since you always offer some great insight. We're still missing responses from just a couple more people. What are the small plastic pellets used in the production of plastic products called? Just give it a few more seconds. So we just have, I think, one more person that we're waiting for a response from. Actually, we'll give it a little bit more time because no one's quite gotten the answer correct yet. Pablo, are you trying to figure it out? All right, I'm going to give 5 more seconds, and then we're going to go over the right answer. All right, the small plastic pellets used in the production of plastic products are called nurdles. And as we all know, if you stretch out the nurdle into a string, it becomes ramen nurdles. That's how that's made. So no one got that answer correct, so no points added, no points subtracted. Moving on. Oh, I should say that Sebastian offered the insight. They have no name. It's all lies. I don't know enough about nurdles to confirm if that's correct or not. I'm sorry. Next question. Fundamentals of engineering the fluids lab. How do we determine that an object floats? A, if the weight is larger than the buoyant force. B, if the weight is smaller than the buoyant force. C, if the weight is equal to the buoyant force. You submit your answers. First correct answer comes from Connor. So Connor, you are the first correct answer with the plus 5 points. Second correct answer comes from Sebastian with the +4 points, the man with the degree in physics already. Okay, so the answer is, how do we determine if an object floats? If the weight is equal to the buoyant force. If it's smaller, it'll sink. If it's larger, it'll rise. All right. Let's move on. We have another, oh, there we go, Sebastian. Looking inside the proton at Jefferson Lab. Protons are made up of what two types of fundamental particles? You may submit your answers. What two types of particles? The first correct answer comes from Effie with the +5. Next comes from Sebastian with +4. I forgot the ding. Forgot to give you the ding. You earned your ding. Next comes from Connor with the +3. Here's your ding. 1, 2, 3. And next is Pablo with the +2. Okay, and I believe, so we're just waiting for, okay, so that's all of our correct answers. Protons are made up of what two types of fundamental particles? Now, there were two types of answers that I would accept for this one. One is quarks and gluons, and the second are the specific kinds of quarks that we associate protons, which are two up quarks and a down quark. So if you said quarks and gluons, or you said up and down quarks, I accepted both of those. All right, so we only have one question left. So it seems like the winner is more or less decided, but second place is actually still up for grabs. So let's see, this will be the decision maker for second place. The final question of Reyes Trivia Night number 2. What is the name of the force that binds the protons together in the nucleus? Let me submit your answers. The first correct answer comes from, I should have added a drum roll side effect, or not side effect, sound. The first correct answer is from Effie. No decisions being made there. Okay. The second correct answer and the deciding factor of who gets second place in this competition is Sebastian with 4 additional points. Next, we have a correct answer from Connor with +3 points. 1, 2, 3. And finally, a correct answer from Pablo, who gets +2. All right, Sebastian, you already got your answer correct. You don't need to keep elaborating on it. And then Larissa also with the correct answer with +1 point. There you have it, folks. There's the deciding score for this year's second trivia night at Reyes. So the winner is Effie and Saketh, with a second place of Sebastian and a very close third place of Connor. Oh, sorry, no, I am incorrect. Pablo. Pablo, I just tried to take that from you. I just tried to steal your glory and give it to Sebastian. I'm so sorry. Second place is actually Pablo, not Sebastian. So we have a first place of Effie and Saketh, second place Pablo, third Sebastian, and Connor is a very close third or fourth, and then Larissa a little bit farther behind. So there you have it, folks. It says that my stuff is being shared in a weird way because of my network performance. Can everyone still hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. It wouldn't be a trivia night hosted by Andrew Dotson without some mistakes in there. Sorry about that.
Well, congratulations to all of our contestants, and in particular to Effie and Saketh for winning this contest. Here's a world round of applause for you. The winners will receive an ODU gift basket, and the rest of the contestants would also receive a gift from ODU for just to basically thank them for their participation. And please join me in offering a special thank you to our ODU alumnus, the famous YouTuber Andrew Dotson, for taking time out of his busy schedule to host the Reyes Trivia Night.
If you don't mind me interrupting, can I interrupt you real quick? I just have to go over the answer.
Do.
I forgot to share the answer. So what is the name of the force that binds the protons together in the nucleus? It is the strong force, the strong interaction. Sorry, I didn't show that earlier. I'll let you go on now. Sorry about that.
No worries at all. You know that you would have everybody waiting for that answer, and we would not have been able to sleep tonight. So I'm glad you interrupted.
I'm glad
but I do want to
Sebastian
say
reminded
that
me.
since this is our last event, I want to say that the Reyes program really could not have been possible without the hard work of the ODU team of volunteers that you see here on your screen.
Not yet.
That you will closely see here on your screen. Basically, the team of volunteers that you see here are from the offices of admissions, from the Office of Strategic Communications and Marketing, from the College of Sciences, as well as the College of Engineering. And the program could not have been made possible without their hard work. And so I want to make sure that we thank all of them for all of their contributions to the Reyes program. And we also extend our gratitude to our research collaborators from around the world. We were very, very lucky to be able to count with the Jefferson Lab, to be able to count with NASA, as well as our other collaborators, Huntington Ingalls, Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, La Agencia Espacial Mexicana, and for those of you who don't speak Spanish, that's the Mexican Space Agency, Berkeley Lab, as well as our friends Aereo and the College of William and Mary. We also extend our deep gratitude to ODU Distance Learning, who helped power this entire program so we could broadcast live to our 7,200 participants from 119 countries around the globe. So before we say goodbye, I'd like to ask my colleague Raul Briceño, who is the co-chair of the Reyes program with me, to say some concluding remarks. Raul?
All right, so first off, to the participants of the last trivia night, thank you so much for participating. I hope you had fun. We had fun with you. Thank you again, Andrew, for taking your time to set this up and make this possible. Without you, it wouldn't be half as fun. So thank you so much. I guess I'd like to say a couple more things, just echo Joanna's thanks to the distance learning folks, as well as the rest of the ODU staff and administration that has made this possible. We're so thankful for you. So we've gotten a lot of questions about how to get some sort of credit for having participated in REYES. I know that a lot of you are, that are stuck at home are doing a great deal of effort of engaging in these lectures, engaging in the classes, doing work, writing code. And so you want to have some sort of recognition for this. And so we're going to have a follow-up survey to ask you for your feedback and get a little bit of insight of how much you actually use REYES. And within that, you will be able to get a participation badge. So you will be receiving a document basically saying that you participated in REYES, so you can get credit for that. And so to be able to give you access to this, we're going to be sending you an email. So keep just keep looking out for emails from reyes@odu.edu. We'll be sending this to you shortly with information that you need to be able to get the participation badge. And the last thing that I want to say is that although this is the end for the summer program, you should expect that we will continue having some sort of program for you. We will certainly do this again next summer. We will do this slightly different. We've learned a lot of lessons throughout the process of hosting this. As you can imagine, there's really nothing out there quite like REYES, a program this large with this diversity of different STEM-related activities. And so we didn't really have a rubric for how to do this. We had to design it and create it and put it into practice. And so you can imagine this is a learning process for us. and we believe that we've learned quite a bit, and so we plan to apply these lessons for next year. So we'll certainly have another program next summer, so keep an eye out for that. But that being said, we also we're designing right now a set of key talks that will take place throughout the year. So we will start as soon as in the fall, and so stay engaged with us, and do not, just don't think that we're forgetting about you. So we'll certainly have activities that we hope for you to engage. These talks that we're designing for the year are going to be different in scale, so they're going to be more selective key speakers that are, that I think will attract a broad audience, and so these I think will be interesting for everybody out there across the world. So stay tuned for that. And I think that's all I have to say. So thank you, Giovanna, for your hard work. I know you put a lot of time and effort on this, and we've worked quite a bit together in making this possible. And thanks to everybody. So stay tuned. You'll hear from us quite soon. And maybe the last thing is that everything that you're seeing, all the material, we're going to keep it online, freely available for you indefinitely. So we want you to be able to use this, go back to it when you feel a little more comfortable, and you've gained a little perspective, and you'll be able to see it in a new light. So you'll hear from us soon. So with that, take care, stay safe, keep pursuing your careers, and if you have any questions or need any support of any kind, feel free to write to us. We're invested in you. Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.